Let us begin with the third section of our video series. In this section, we'll be dealing with core exploitation processes using Metasploit. In the last video of our second series, we saw how we can get a shell on our attacking machine by executing a payload on our target machine. However, this attack is limited to executing that particular exe file on our target machine. In this video series, we'll learn about core exploitation processes, wherein we'll be compromising our target remotely by using known exploits present in the Metasploit repository. We will start with a very basic Windows XP Service Pack 2 machine, and later on we'll see how we can get a remote shell, or how we can compromise other versions of Windows like Windows 7, and so on. So let's start with a very basic Windows Service Pack 2 machine. We can see that one user, Dark Lord, is already added to this machine, and the guest user is signed off. Now we will launch an attack where we'll be adding another user remotely onto this PC. One thing I would like to make clear here is that this is a machine set up in order to demonstrate the attack. Similarly, we can attack any remote PC available anywhere on the internet if we are aware of the IP address and the operating system version. So let us begin with our Metasploit console. We'll be exploiting the Windows Net API vulnerability, so let us do a quick search of the Net API. Okay, so the Net API has resulted in 4 exploit modules. Let us select the latest one, that is 08067 Net API vulnerability. We'll be using exploit Windows SMB MS08_067_NE API and do show options. We need the IP address of the remote host, so let us quickly check what the IP address of this machine is with ipconfig. It is 192.168.56.102. So let us add it here. Let's now set up a payload, and then show options. Alright, so our host is set. Our port is by default set as 445 to exploit the API vulnerability. Plus, payload has settings adding a user Metasploit and password Metasploit. Let us change it to some other value. Set user as packed and set pass as 123. Now let us launch the exploit by typing exploit and pressing enter. Now you can see what it shows. It's tempting to trigger the vulnerability. An exploit was completed but no session was created. This is because we are actually adding a user remotely instead of getting a session on it. Let us now go back to our XP machine and see if we have successfully exploited the machine or not. We see that we just have one user. Let us log off and check. Okay, so we have a packed user added here. Clicking on it and adding 123 as our password will log us into the XP machine. So this was a simple attack demonstrating how we can remotely compromise any XP machine using the Net API vulnerability. Just like I provided the local IP, because this machine is present on the same network as the attacking machine, you can provide any remote IP and listen on that particular Ethernet to exploit machines that are available on the internet remotely.